Morning everyone, back up in North Queensland with my old mate Lukey from Tassie. Luke's up on holidays from Tasmania. He's come all the way up, driven up, he hasn't flown up, he's driven up all the way from Tassie, across the Bass Strait on the Spirit of Tassie, mate, and up to far North Queensland. Been showing Luke around the last few days, around this neck of the woods. We've struck it for some nice weather. Luke's taken off on Monday and he's heading further north up to explore Cairns, the Cairns region and that, mate.
Townfield and stuff. Have a look around while I'm up here.
Yeah, absolutely, as you do. And then Luke's going down to the Legends Camp 9th, 10th, 11th of August, mate, and then you're heading back south after that.
Yeah.
Got talking to Luke the other day, everyone, and one of the big things about the Legends Camp coming up is it's down near Allarat, Warwick in South Queensland. I used to live in Warwick, and let me tell you, it gets cold down there in winter. They can get sub-zero and, you know, -2, -3 in the morning. So everyone is expecting, as the kookaburras go off, excuse the lawnmower in the background too, sorry. Everyone's expecting cold weather. So I've gone out and bought some winter weight sleeping bags and stuff like that, Luke. But Luke being from Tasmania, everyone, we camped down in Tassie last year, Lukey, and like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's when the sun went down, and it wasn't even winter time. It got cold, mate. And I said to Luke, how do you stay warm, mate? Luke's got a Nissan Navara with a rooftop tent. That's how you camp, mate, in a rooftop tent. And you camp in some cold weather. And I know Luke didn't have a diesel heater. Everyone's going on about portable diesel heaters and all that type of stuff. Stay tuned for that one, Lukey, eh?
Yeah, we'll have to stay tuned.
We'll stay tuned for that.
There might be something behind scenes.
Something coming. But I said to Luke, how do you stay warm, mate? Honestly, Tasmania, you've come up through Victoria in the middle of winter. I said, how do you stay warm? Luke's pretty smart. When you're in a caravan park, mate, you use one of those little Bunnings $20 or $30 fan heaters.
Yeah. And you're just paying for, you just go into a caravan park just to pay to use a little heater, really. You're not going there for no reason else.
Lukey stays in caravan parks. A lot of people camp in caravan parks in powered sites, and when you do that, you just use a little fan heater, which I think would probably get too hot in a
you've got to run it real low. Yeah,
in a rooftop tent. Luke said, I've got an item from Companion. It's a tent heater from Companion. And I said, what? And he was trying to explain it to me. I did not know what he was talking about. I'm behind the times. I know Companion do an item similar to this, and it's basically a water heater and a shower.
Yeah.
And you're one of the first ones to have one of those as well. I know a lot of the people in the community went out and bought those water heaters after you already had one, Lukey.
Yeah.
And you rate that, and I know a lot of the boys in the community really rate the Companion water heater, which is a shower as well. This is basically a very similar item. Instead of heating water, it heats the air. Did not know about this. It's called the Companion Aeroheat or something, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's very
Aeroheat, sorry. The Companion Aeroheat, not Aqua's water, Aeroheat. And basically it's a tent heater.
Yeah.
And Luke brought it out. I said, mate, I've got to see it. I've never seen one. They're fairly new on the market, apparently.
I'm pretty sure they are fairly new.
Yeah, well, there you go. And that's why I hadn't heard of them, everyone. And that's why we're doing this clip. I said, come on, Luke, let's do a clip on it. You've used it. And there might be a lot of other people out there watching this clip that don't know about this and might go, I don't want to go down the diesel heater path. This might be down my alley. And all this is about, not to promote this item, is just to give you options out there and let you know what options are out there. Listen, you know I live up in very hot part of Australia. I'm more into air conditioning than heating. But I reckon this would go all right down at Mrbuckaroonie when we get down there, mate. It's a, like, BCF seller?
Yeah, BCF Anaconda, and you can get it on the Companion website.
Okay, so Companion website, and we just looked up. I said to Luke, how much are they? I just Googled it, guys. I went into the BCF.
They're not the cheapest.
They're not cheap. Normal price $5.79. Just go in and join up. It's free to join up BCF, guys, and become a member, which is the way to go. Super cheap, BCF, all those places. Become a member. It's free. You get your receipts emailed to you. It's just so easy. If something happens to it, you can go back to BCF and say, I'm having problems with it. they've got you on the computer system. Rather than the trouble with buying stuff online, you may be able to get this online or whatever, is if you have problems with it, is the warranty then becomes a nightmare. If you buy through the shops like BCF and Super Cheap and that, and you buy products, if something's wrong, you can go back. It's still in warranty, go back, they pull you up on the computer and they go, yep, you bought it on the 5th of July, yep, it's still under warranty, mate, here's a new one. Or we'll send it away for repair, whatever the case may be. Now, $5.79 normal price, club price $4.29. So what's that? 150 bucks off, Luke?
Yeah, what's a good saving?
150 bucks. So become a member, and you get this for $429. That includes the accessories. So listen, they're not as cheap. I know there's diesel heaters out there, these Chinese diesel heaters that are cheaper than this. The reason, Luke, and that's, I was sitting there before thinking, I forgot to ask Luke something. The reason you don't run a diesel heater, mate, in your rooftop tent is basically you don't carry diesel. You don't carry a camper trailer. You don't carry diesel jerrys on you.
And you don't want to have the smell in the vehicle either. Really.
Yeah, that's right. So Lukey doesn't carry diesel jerrys, which is why he hasn't gone with a diesel heater. He's gone with this thing here, the Companion Aeroheat. So we're going to get Luke soon. We're going to show you how to fire it up and some of the thing. Now, we're not taking this off here. We'll show you the accessories. We're going to keep that on because if this comes to where the hot air blows out, if we take that off now, we'll start getting error codes, and that's a safety feature, so that if it does come loose when it's running, it will spit an error code and shut down. It's a safety feature. These things run on gas, Luke, and we'll talk about that now. Now listen, the dimensions of this thing here, I was pretty impressed with the size of it, Luke. I thought it'd be bigger than this.
Yeah, and it's the same as the shower 2 size.
The shower is the same.
Yeah,
it looks like it's built on the same sort of platform, guys. It's quite light. It's very light. It's 8 kilograms. That includes the accessories, your cables and your stretchy pipe and all that. It is fairly compact. I wrote it on my thing. 40 centimeters, 42 long, 16 wide. So it's nice and thin. So if you've got that thin area in your camper trailer or your car, it can slot down into a thinner area, and it's about, what did I say, 38 centimetres high with the handle. Nice carry handle on it. That won't include that PVC pipe. Lukey's just put a little bit of PVC on the end there because he doesn't need to use the stretchy pipe. He just pokes the end of that into his tent and runs it like that. That sits on his solar panels on his roof, and that butts up to the tent, and he just pokes the PVC bit into unzips the zipper a little bit, and it goes in like that. So it works for you, mate. Normal people would put this somewhere where it's out of the weather. We'll show you what Luke does for that in a minute. And it comes with a nice stretchy, I love these things. Rafa doesn't like it. Now, I'm hoping that these things here, you could probably buy a longer piece from a hardware shop, Bunnings or somewhere. It's about 90 mil, guys. The diameter from the outer diameter is about 90 millimeters, okay? So one of those stretchy pipes, that goes over the connector, and then that goes into the tent to blow the hot air in your tent. You get the idea there. So it's a nice compact unit, and it's not super heavy. It's less than 8 kilograms. That is light, okay? So it's not like it weighs 20 kilos. Some of the diesel heaters are quite heavy. That is a lot lighter than the diesel heater, so there's a plus there. Lukey, give us a rundown on what it runs on. Can you screw that off, mate?
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of gas cylinders out there. It runs on gas, and being a Companion brand, we know Companion make 2-burner stoves and all that type of stuff that run off these things, which you can get from just about any hardware shop. The Companion gas bottles that screw on.
And they're a lot cheaper at Bunnings, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, by a little bit.
Yeah. Any hardware shops will have it. It's a 468 gram canister, Companion canister. Less than $10 at Bunnings, you were saying, Luke?
Yeah. And you can pay up to $14 at like BCF and Anaconda and all.
Okay, so Bunnings is by far the cheaper. Now, listen, we probably shouldn't say this. A lot of people out there, and I've seen a lot of the Yanks are doing it, and I've seen all these adapter kits coming out for these small gas bottles, so you can refill these off an 8 kilo, a 4.5 or an 8 kilo gas bottle, Luke. I don't know if that's legal in Australia. All the ads I've seen is from America. They've got adapters that go from that onto a big gas bottle, turn the big gas bottle on and then turn the thing on, and you can refill these, which would be a hell of a lot cheaper. So if you had half a dozen of these to take camping with you, you can fill them up in your shed. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's legal, Lukey.
Yeah, I might have to do some research.
Yeah, we'll have to do some research. I know the Yanks do it. It may not be legal in Australia, so just check up on that, please. But I know there are adapter kits that I've seen advertised on Facebook now, so you can fill all your small gas bottles off a big gas bottle. Trying to save a few bucks. I didn't say that, but they're under $10 anyway. Now, Luke, let's go on to the important. People are probably out there going, all right, how does it work? It's got an inbuilt lithium battery, Luke.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have this charging up all the time.
No, to run it. It does run on its own.
Now, Luke has told me that the gas and the battery last a lot longer than what the book says.
Yeah, what they say online and all.
So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, you unplug this from charger. It's got an inbuilt lithium battery. You unplug this, you can run this all night.
Yeah.
On less than one gas. You put a full one in before you go to bed.
Yep.
The battery's fully charged when you go to bed.
Yep.
So it's not running off it's just running off the gas. It's not being charged off 12 volt. And you can get all night out of it.
Yeah, and it's running on the low setting too, so it's not using much gas or much power.
All right, and Luke's in a rooftop tent, so there's three settings there: low, medium, high. You run it on low, Lukey, and you reckon it keeps your tent
nice and warm.
Yeah. Now I've seen a guy from Snowy say, don't expect it to be like a fan heater. It doesn't pump out massive amounts of hot air. What these things do is takes the chill out of the air, so you don't have a miserable night's sleep. But you reckon you can sleep in your rooftop tent just with a doona over the top like you would at home, just in your shorts and t-shirt, mate?
Yeah, I don't have to be all rugged up. I can be up there nice and just lay there like I am up here now.
Yeah, so Luke said this does take the chill out of his rooftop tent, so he can just go to bed under a single doona in shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you're not shivering and not freezing at night.
Yeah, and then catching colds and all this sort of other stuff.
So it does work. So on the low setting, it will last. Now, it's got an inbuilt lithium battery. You can charge it up off 12 volt, and it comes with a really generous 5 metre, it looks like a 5 metre lead. So I've got that plugged in. It's just got a cigarette connector on that end, plugged into the camper trailer. Where's that plug in, Lukey?
But you can get a 240 plug extra. All
right, so optional accessory is a 240 if you want to do 240. But listen, when you're camping, you've got to have that 12 volt option. So basically you charge the battery up, and before you go to bed at night, you just unplug it from your 12 volt source.
Yeah.
The lithium battery will last all night. Get up, turn him off in the morning, and charge the battery up. Yeah. How long does the battery take to charge up on 12 volt?
I think about 4 hours or something.
All right, so you can charge it up easy.
Yeah.
From your 12 volt, from your auxiliary battery in your 4-wheel drive or your camper trailer, whatever you've got, guys, caravan or whatever.
That's what I've been doing coming down. Yeah. Use it that night and charge it while I've been driving down the road.
Yeah.
Have it that night, it's already charged.
So while you're driving, you're charged up during the day and she's ready to go again. The only problem, I guess, if you just say we use one of those a night, Lukey, you've got to carry a few of these. If you're out on a remote trip, listen, if you're going through towns each day, it's not a big deal to call into Bunnings or BCF and grab a couple more. No. But if you're going on a remote trip, that's where you're probably thinking, hang on, I've got diesel jerrys here to run a diesel heater. Might be a bit more practical than buying a heap of these things here. But all night, you can get through on one gas canister for under $10. So if you're going out for a long weekend in the freezing cold down Victoria or Tassie, going for a long weekend, take 3 of those and it'll get you through your camping trip. So trying to give you the pros and cons here, everyone. And you're probably sitting back now going, oh no, a diesel heater, There might be people out there that don't want to carry the diesel like Luke and that and can come up with this thing. Now, Lukey turned it on just before we came on camera and they seem to be very, very easy to use. Charge the battery up, Screw the gas back on, please, Luke, if you can, mate, because we're going to fire this up soon. We've done enough talking. I just thought if I got one of these, I probably won't, but I could sit it on the back. You've got to keep it out of the weather at night. If Roz is in the Oz tent, we've got the 270 awning out, so I could just sit this outside under the 270 awning and run that pipe straight in through the zip of the Oz tent and take the chill out of the Oz tent. That would work really well because I've already got it covered up from the 270 awning. Big safety thing, Luke, don't ever run these. Don't ever put this in your tent.
No.
Don't ever put this in your tent, guys. When we start it up, you can smell the gas. When at first you'll hear it ignite, you can smell the gas like anything, okay? Don't ever put this in your tent. It has to be ventilated and you need to run the pipe into whatever you want to keep warm, whether it's your caravan or your camper trailer or your rooftop tent or your Oz tent, whatever, okay? That goes in where you're sleeping, that does not. That needs to be out and it needs to be ventilated. Huge safety warning there. And there's a big warning sign on the outside, warning, outdoor use only, which means this stays outside, preferably under some cover, so it can't get wet.
It's not waterproof at all.
No, so we need to, and Lukey will show you how he protects it, because this sits on the roof on your solar panels at night.
Yeah, it does.
And you just poke that into the rooftop tent. And Luke's got a little contraption there that him and his dad made up to keep it waterproof. Let's show them now how quick and easy this is
to start up.
We'll go through the thing. What we might do is cut the camera and just pre-position the camera so you can get a better view of the instrument panel here, eh? Righto. Hey, we just went to turn it on and it came up with an error code. And we worked out what it was. We just didn't have the gas bottle was not nipped up tight enough. So there's a lot of safety functions built into this thing, so we've just got to let it go down through the cool down procedure, then we'll get the camera back on and show you the startup procedure. Come up with an error code. We just didn't have the gas bottle nipped up firm enough, okay? So that's a good thing. If something's not right, it'll chuck an error code and it will not start. It's when you're dealing with gas, everyone, safety's got to be number one priority. The other thing Luke just said to me is it comes with an adapter, apparently, a 240 volt adapter. It also comes with another adapter so that you can run it off a larger gas bottle. Then my ears pricked up because I was sitting there thinking, don't want to be carrying too many of those small gas bottles. Apparently you can get an adapter that runs from a 4 and 8 kilo, the medium or the large gas bottle, into there. And that's when my ears pricked up and I thought, you know what? I could take one of the 4 kilo gas bottles off the camper trailer, put it down beside the Aeroheat here, outside the Oz tent, under cover of the 270 awning, run the pipe in there and not have to worry about the small gas canisters then. So if you're in a situation like Roz and I, where we've got a camper trailer with 2 of these on there, or a caravan and you've got a couple of 9 kilo gas bottles on there, 8, whatever they are, you'll have enough gas to run an extended bloody time out remote camping. So that could be an option for me and Roz, Lukey.
As long as you've got it all charged up, that runs forever.
As long as it's charged up, and I can always got a 5 metre 12 volt lead. I could keep it charged, just keep it hooked in all night anyway. So I don't have to worry about the battery going flat overnight. Run the 5 metre lead into here, and then I've got it running off a 4 kilo gas bottle, which would run for a long time. Probably run for a week or 2 weeks maybe, who knows? That's something you'd have to experiment with. So there's an option too, everyone. If you're sitting there thinking, little gas, if you've got a larger gas thing and you can get that adapter kit to go from the large gas cylinder to the Aeroheat, that could be an option. Now I'm interested, I really am. Okay, startup procedure, everyone. Turn it on. Luke's just turned it on and we can see here, because I've got it plugged into the camper trailer, the lithium battery inside is fully charged. If that's charging, it'll go 1, 2, you'll see the lights moving. That's fully charged. You can leave it plugged in or you can unplug it now. Depends what you want to do. Next thing we do is turn the fan on. 1 push, and the fan comes on, you'll see the little things going around that lets you know the fan is on. It is not igniting at the moment because the red light isn't on. We have a fan control speed here. 1, medium, high, medium, low. Adjust your fan setting with your plus and minus sign. Luke keeps it on in his rooftop tent at night on setting number 1, which is probably why your gas and your battery goes a lot further, Lukey.
It does, yeah.
Righto, now we're going to try and ignite it. We're going to hit the fan button one more time. There you go, she's going. Lukey just did the Midas touch. He's bloody got it working. Got to be honest, we had a couple of goes at that. It kept throwing error codes, Luke.
It did.
I don't know why. It's going now. You see the red light going? That is now working. So what you do now, you can smell the gas. We'll get around the front now, Lukey. So that is now started and running on low heat. When you first start it up, Luke, you can smell the gas.
You can, yeah.
Until it ignites. Obviously, after it ignites, I can still smell a bit of gas there, which is why you do not put it in your tent, ever. All right? I can feel that nice warm heat coming out of there now. Now listen, it's probably not like a diesel heater. It's probably not like a 240 volt fan heater, which draws a hell of a lot of power. Okay? But that is warm air coming out of there, and it's only on setting number 1. I guess, Luke, what you could do if it's a real chilly night, start it up, get it on 3, get as much warm air into your tent as you could, and then turn it down to 1 to run through the night. But Luke's camps in Tassie and Victoria, and he's been up through New South Wales, we all know, and even southern Queensland on the way up here.
Yeah.
You certainly don't need it up here. But you've been using this on the way up, Luke, and you said you run it on 1 during the night. The battery lasts all night if you go to bed with it fully charged, and one of those little gas cylinders lasts all night. So here's from a bloke who has used it. I know there's a lot of reviews out there from Snowies and BCF and all that from people in the camping shop. Here's a bloke who has been using it, everyone.
It's been good too.
Well, he said it's been good, and when he mentioned it to me, I didn't even know about it. Now, the other thing we can do too is you're probably thinking, oh, if I want to turn it off, I've got to get outside the tent. No, you do not. I've left my phone over there. I'm going to try and set the Bluetooth up on this and see if I can control this, the fan speed and the on and off and that, using my iPhone, guys. But I can feel that now. There is a really nice warm air coming out of that. Most of you, Luke doesn't need the long bloody tube bit here. Let me know in the comments if you know if you can get this 90mm extended tube anywhere. Let me know, will you? I'll have to have a look at Bunnings or somewhere like that, Lukey. Luke doesn't need this. He just pokes the bit of he's just gaffer taped some PVC pipe on. If the locking ring at the end here isn't on properly, it'll chuck an error code. If your gas bottle's not on properly, it'll chuck an error code. If there's any sort of safety issue with it, an error code will come up and it will not run. Okay? But you said once you get it running,
it's good.
It doesn't throw error code. It just lasts all night.
Yeah.
Unless it runs out of gas or the battery. I'm guessing the lithium battery in these is quite good too. We know how much power anything that heats pulls, so it must be a pretty good little lithium battery that's inside there.
Yeah.
But for me and Roz, if we were camping in a really cold environment, we run that into the Oz tent, zip it up so nothing else can get in, run the pipe into the Oz tent, get the adapter kit so I can run this off a large gas bottle, and I think you're cooking with bloody, you're going, mate, like cooking with gas, sleeping with gas, have it outside and pump it in. I think this is a very viable option, especially for someone like Roz and I. Roz sleeps in the Oz tent. We've got gas. We've got 12 volt, nice big long cord. This is out of the rain. If it does rain, it's under the 270 awning. This could be a very viable option, Luke, for Roz in the Oz tent.
It would be, yeah.
And you use it up on your rooftop tent, mate, and we'll get going now because this is starting to drag on a bit, this clip. I'm jibber-jabbering again, as I do. What I'm going to do, try and get the Bluetooth working, and then Lukey's going to show you what he's made up, because he sits this on the roof of his four-wheel drive and just butts this bit up to his rooftop tent. Need to keep the dew and the moisture and the rain off it. Lukey and his dad has made a little contraption there, so if it does rain at night, Lukey, it stops the rain getting inside. Righto, let's see if we can get this Bluetooth working. That's warm. That is warm air coming out.
And that's only on one.
It's only on one. The guy who I watched before this, we watched it last night, I think, he said it will not bloody be like a diesel heater or a fan heater where you go in and it's super hot. It takes the chill out of the air, and as Luke said, he doesn't have to wear a jumper or anything up in his rooftop tent running on number one. And that is a beautiful warm air coming out of that. Give it time, even on one, that would, I reckon it would have heated our 15-foot caravan. It's taken the chill out of the air at least when we're down in Tassie and Victoria.
So that's all I've got it for, to take off the chill of the air.
Run a pipe into your caravan somehow through the zip, and you could run that all night off your big gas bottle, and I reckon you'd have a beautiful night's sleep. Lukey's having a bit of trouble. He's got an Android phone and reckons he's having a bit of trouble with the Bluetooth. I just downloaded from the App Store, I've got an iPhone, everyone, Aeroheat, A-E-R-O heat. Aeroheat, type that into the App Store, it's the first thing that comes up. Open it up, turn it on, and what I'm going to do now is turn the fan on. So hopefully you can see the display panel. So if you're in your tent now, you've gone out, you've set everything up, you're in your tent. Technically you'd probably preheat your tent before you get in there, but you get the idea. So the fan's on at the moment. I've just hit fan on. Now I'm going to go heat on. Are you sure you're ready to start heating? Okay.
And then you just move your finger.
And then on here, on the app, I don't know if you can see that, everyone, I can adjust if I want it, the fan low, medium is purple, and high is red. So I'm going to turn it, you just get the dot and run it around with your finger. So I've just turned that down to low, so it's not as noisy. It's very quiet. Have we mentioned that, Luke? It is fairly quiet on low setting. And that's working. I can feel the heat coming out of there now. I can feel the heat coming out just by using the app. It's a very simple app. Fan on, fan off. You just hit it. It's a toggle switch, heat on or heat off. And this thing here's got a blue dot. You can see the blue dot there. I just go medium, high. You just run your finger around if you want to turn it up. You can do that from inside your tent. We don't need it anymore. I'm going to turn it off. Are you sure you want to shut down the heater? Yes. And what it does then is it goes down into a shutdown procedure, Luke.
Yeah.
And the heat goes off now. I can feel it. It's just blowing some, the heat's going down. It starts blowing cold air. And it takes about a minute or so, even a couple of minutes, to do its shutdown procedure in the morning. So when you turn it off, it just doesn't stop. It's obviously got to go through a shutdown procedure to let everything cool down properly and whatever. So just let it do its thing. So there you go, Lukey. I just downloaded the app, and I'm not good on iPhones. Aeroheat on the iPhone, and it worked perfectly. I started it, turned the fan on, got the heat going, adjusted from high, medium to low, and then shut it down. And it's still going through its shutdown procedure now. So you can do all that from inside your tent. If you're sitting there and you've got it on 3 and you go, oh, it's getting a bit hot in here, you can get on your phone and put it down to low setting. Have it on high when you first get in, Lukey, and then when you go, yep, this is hot, warm enough now, put it down to low to get you through the rest of the night. I tell you what, I'm pretty impressed with it, Luke.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, guys. This is the first time I've seen this thing. The first time I've had a look at it, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think it could be a bit cheaper, if I've got to be honest. $420 something for club there, it's just gone, it's totally off now. $400 and something. Is it worth it? When you're in a bloody rooftop tent down in Tasmania and you've got icicles hanging off your loogie, it'll be worth it. Let me tell you. I am now very interested in this thing. If I can get the adapter kit to run it off a larger gas bottle, okay? I think if you've got the capability to run it off a bigger gas bottle, this thing will be brilliant. Got a way to keep it out of the weather, which we'll see in a minute. This is an impressive bit of kit.
And you can get a bag for them too, to put all the stuff in.
Yes, that should be part of the price. Companion, if you're watching, that bloody, for $420 something, that bag to put it in, the accessory bag, should be part of the kit, guys. Come on. Let's get fair dinkum. All right, a little bloody, and it's not even a Aussie canvas bag or anything. It's just your cheap bloody zip-up bag, probably. Should be part of the kit, guys. Come on, Companion, if you're watching. I've got to be honest there. Good bit of kit, Luke. The only thing we want to show you now, everyone, is how Luke keeps it, because he puts this up on his roof rack on the solar panels to get into his rooftop tent. I wouldn't need to do this. I've got a 270 awning. But anyway, let's set up your little thing, Lukey, and show everyone what you do. What do you reckon, everyone? Make sure, before I forget at the end, put a comment down. This is, I think, and I know a lot of people are very impressed with the Companion water heater so they can have a hot shower. This is an impressive bit of gear. My first impressions, very, very good. I love the fact that it's lightweight as in you wouldn't carry it around in your backpack, everyone, but lightweight for a four-wheel drive. It's under 8 kilograms. Okay, so the wife or even the kids could grab it out and set it up outside the tent or whatever. This is a good bit of kit. If you might need a longer tube than this. I'm sure we can find this, a longer piece of tube somewhere to run from there and run it up into your rooftop tent or run it anywhere.
But you might lose a bit of heat if you go longer too.
The longer you go, you might lose a bit of heat, absolutely, but I don't think it'd be a massive loss. The longer that is, and you've got the cold air hitting it, it might cool the warm air down. So the longer, you're right, Luke, in very cold weather, the longer this is, the less efficient the hot air is going to be, I think. So that's something to take into consideration too. You wouldn't want to run that 10 metres. It'd probably be cool air by the time it got to the end. Righto, let's see what you've got to keep the rain off this thing, eh? Righto.
This is what we made, so then if there's no dew or rain, it won't get affected because it's not waterproof at all. So I'll just pull it apart then.
Yeah, go on. So, what's the stuff that it's made out of, Lee?
It's skylight stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put it back together so the Companion goes on top.
Then just put that on top.
Yeah.
Then put some walls together.
So that's skylight, if anyone's wondering.
Just thin.
This just gives it some protection from the elements, mate, when it's up on your roof rack of your four-wheel drive.
Yeah, because you don't want it inside.
No, well, you can't have it inside. It's okay.
And that's it there.
And then you just butt the end of the heater up to your rooftop tent.
Yeah, and then it's out of the rain and out of everything.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. There you go. That's a bit of an idea for you, anyway.
Yeah.
It works, Luke, eh?
It does.
Yeah, good stuff. Righto, this went a lot longer than we thought, but listen, I hope you got something out of this, everyone. I hope it's giving you some ideas. It's given me a bloody... Oh, thanks, Luke.
That's all right.
Now I've got to find 420 something bucks so I can buy one. Next year, Roz and I are planning another big trip. This time, not in the caravan, in the camper trailer. I'm sure we're going to be down south somewhere and we're going to strike some cold weather. Roz, her days of rooftop tenting are over, everyone. She wants to sleep in the Oz tent. Both of us can sleep in there. If we get into the real cold weather, we can sleep in the Oz tent. Good to know that this thing here is going to take the chill. We can be in the Oz tent basically and not freeze our asses off, okay? You've put it to the test. This is coming from a bloke who come from Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales in a rooftop tent in winter, Luke.
Yeah.
All right, it's only mid-July. Luke, he's only just got here. He's been travelling in the middle of winter down south, and this thing's got him through.
Yeah.
And you rate it, mate. He said it works really well. What we are going to do, but this works perfectly with my iPhone on Bluetooth. You said you're having a bit of trouble on your Android.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We'll work on that off camera and see if we can work out what's going on there. For someone who's never seen this before, I'm impressed with it. I think it's a great bit of kit. I really do. For people with rooftop tents, Oz tents, a camper van, as long as you can work out a way to keep this outside out of the weather and get that warm air inside to where you're sleeping, this could be just what you're after, everyone. This thing here is obviously in competition with diesel heaters. Some people are out there probably going, diesel heater will suit me better than this. Other people out there now, probably like me, going, maybe this is a better option for me than a diesel heater because we've got large gas bottles that we can run it off.
Yeah.
For single blokes like you, Lukey, people who just want to go out for a weekend in the middle of winter, sleep in the rooftop tent, just go out for 2 or 3 nights, the little green bottles is all you need. Go and buy a few from your local camping store and Bob's your uncle, you're away. I give it the thumbs up, guys, at the moment. Longevity, they're only a fairly new item, Luke.
They are.
But there seems to be a lot of good reviews on the Companion water heaters. I know a lot of blokes, Rob, the 2 Robs, and there's a heap of blokes.
Yeah,
Steve, they've all got one and they all highly rate them. This is a very similar item. It just does the air, blows the hot air in. Really good. Luke, thanks for showing this to me, mate.
That's all right.
Make sure you like and subscribe, everyone. I need heaps of views so I can save up money to buy one of these now.
But you have to say if Ros will let you first.
She will, because she's the one who's going to be benefiting from it in the Oz tent. I'm going to be freezing my arse off up in the rooftop tent. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it, in all seriousness now. From a bloke who uses it, he rates it. He reckons it works really well. So there you go. Someone who's actually been outside the camping shop and has actually put it to the test in real life, you know. It doesn't get much colder than Tasmania, and Lukey camps down in Tassie in a rooftop tent. This thing helps him do that. See you later, everyone. Thanks again, Luke.
Thanks
all right,
for everything.
Catch you, guys.
See ya.
You don't have to be so close to him. Leggy trying to bloody sit in my lap.